that one back.
I've got a question for everybody. Does anybody who have a Maria paniculata hedge at their house? No Maria hedges are your beauty, because Maria is one of those plants I'd actually prefer to see cut out, because there are a lot better native plants that you can utilise to do the same thing, and they don't actually have that heady perfume and don't require so much water. And that is this first one, where people want to go and give it a common name called lily pilly. Well, I believe the only time the words lily pilly should be spoken together is when you were talking about that suburb in Sutherlandshire, right? Because we are talking about two completely different genuses of plants and about approximately 1,800 to 2,000 species. So it'd be quite confusing. It'd be like probably naming everybody in this whole entire order on one of 2,000 in here, Bruce. And I think that'd get a little confusing for everybody. So we're going to drop that word lily-pilly and we're going to name them just in their genus, right? Because if you ever want to grow these things, you're looking at the two genuses. You're looking at a Syzygium and you're looking at an Acmena. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is your Acmena. This one here is Acmena australis. He will not grow too big, he'll only be a little shrubby plant, you know, but he will throw fruit. But if you wish for that hedging plant, you'd be looking at the genus species of Syzygium limani, and he will actually grow to about 3-4 metres. And on his first year's growth, he'll actually throw a pinkish red leaf to it, right, as you get that beautiful variegated foliage. Second, third year, that's when you'll start producing the fruit. A little small pink fruit, a small seed inside that actually tastes rather like an apple. And the other beautiful thing about that is he'll actually cop full hard sun all day, every day. So he'll love the sun, whereas your Maria will get burned. Right, so there's the advantage, and it requires a lot less water. Then at the other end here, we have the Acmena. Right, so this one would actually be a real lily-pilly, where this one you'd call a bush cherry or a ryeberry. This one in optimum conditions, Damo, you've got your microphone? How big do you reckon this thing would go in optimum, say, rainforest and backyard condition?
This one? Or what are we talking about, this one? The Acmena, in your backyard, you'll get anything from 10 to 15 metres, but if you're in a rainforest, you can get anywhere up to 25 metres tall. They are optimal conditions in the rainforest, but it is a very big tree. If the cultivars of this plant, there's actually two different family names, the Acmena and the Syzygium, but
we all mentioned that, but what I'm talking about is the different cultivars, because you can get the smaller varieties of them. This one here is what they call Acmena Smithy Speed Screen. So you'll actually only grow to about 4 to 5 metres. And then if you want to keep it even shorter, you just top the things as we've done here, lift them up and just top them off at the top. That will keep them also nice and so they don't get too big. But back to the middle beds here, these two here, we could actually call them imports, but they are Australian. But I say they're imports because they actually come from Queensland. The first one here, well, you know, they do. Show me your babies, your babies. No, sorry. Right, there's two cultivars in this. You have your Macadamia tetraphylla and your Macadamia macrophylla, and this is where the conjecture right between Australia and Hawaii aiming the macadamia. Macadamia tetraphylla is actually the Australian one. The Macadamia macrophylla, or it's common with lots of nuts. The Macadamia macrophylla, that is the Hawaiian cultivar. Right now, there is 3 warnings I will give you with your macadamias. They will grow in the Sydney Basin, yes. They will grow a little bit slower, but the 3 warnings I will give you about macadamias. Number 1, do not plant it anywhere near your garden shed, because when they fruit and they split open the husk, all you'll hear half the night and half the day is and I tell you now, it will drive you absolutely insane. Because I used to live next door to one where they planted it right next to the garden shed, and then when it was fruiting, it was like, really? Number 2, be prepared for some daytime visitors. You know, they've got the big white fellas, big yellow comb over the top of their head, and they always go squark, squark. They absolutely love them. Number 3 warning, be prepared for nighttime visitors, the ones that like to hide in your roof all day. You're running around making a lot of noise and chewing on your copper wiring, and if you ever corner them, they will tear you to shreds. We all know who we're talking about there. So they're the 3 warnings I do give you about macadamias. But other than those, and then 4th warning, make sure you rake up all the nuts before you mow the lawn. Otherwise, you could end up with shards of shell in your shins. You know, that would be rather detrimental to your health. So they're the 4 warnings. But other than that, great tree. Next to him, his other important mate, he comes from, actually, he's a rainforest tree, but he will grow in the Sydney Basin, but he will grow a lot slower. His full name is Davidonia jerseyana, commonly known as a Davidson plum. Now, warning, if it ever does fruit, and you do decide to go and eat it, be prepared for your cheeks to touch, right? They can be rather tart, isn't it? Right, and maybe your eyeballs will go like this. So, but again, high in antioxidants, very high in vitamin C, great for the system.
Grinded up mortar and pestle.
Yeah, we're leaving. Now, all of these trees here, they're all the fruiting trees. These 3 here, you only use the leaves of. Starting down the bottom, this guy he's got a very, very mild taste to him. His full name is Backhausia myrtifolia, commonly known as a cinnamon myrtle. And the reason why I recommend to grow one of these, great tree to grow, very easy to grow, but also it will give you a very mild cinnamon taste. Now everybody goes, oh well, cinnamon is cinnamon bark. Now to get that cinnamon bark, you actually have to ring bark the tree. The last time I checked, well, ring barking a tree is a bit detrimental to the tree's health. And also, cinnamon only grows in rainforest conditions. So all your cinnamon is actually imported overseas. So if we've got an Australian native, why not utilise it? But like I was saying, very, very mild in taste, very easy. Utilise it dry, you can go and crush it up, put it in your ice cream, through your sugars and whatnot, coating. It does have a very mild taste. Or you can just boil the leaves up just straight off it. At the other end of the spectrum, his mate next to him, he's known as Backhausia aniseed, commonly known as Aniseed myrtle. Now, when you think aniseed, you'll think fennel. Now, when you think fennel, go and boost that scent up when it's dry by about 400 or 500 times, right? It is absolutely crazy insane. But again, so if you ever use it very sparingly. But the one thing I will say, it goes really well over the top of a leg of lamb before you roast it, because the flavour goes all the way through the lamb. Wonderful plant. And the last one on our list is probably the most versatile plant that you can actually utilise in your yards. Backhausia citriodora, commonly known as a lemon myrtle. Now, the beauty about this is you can use everything from cleaning products, air fresheners, insect repellents. You can boil the leaves up, drink a cup of tea, cup of iced tea, go and freeze it up with sticks. There's kids who've got ice blocks, or use it just in ice blocks for yourself. You can use it as a dry marinade, you can use it in a wet marinade, you can even use it in desserts, because I've used it in ice cream, I've used it in pancakes, I've used it in a lemon myrtle cheesecake on a wattle seed base. And a lady over here will have a hack at me and goes, but yours is made, mine's the cold. Take But yeah, very, very versatile. You can even get liquor made from it, because there's a stall up there in the food hall that actually does a lemon myrtle liqueur. And then also down the bottom end of this stall, you'll find lemon myrtle fragrances. The stall's called, and they actually do soaps, body lotions, moisturisers, shampoos, conditioners, insect repellents. Oh, and ladies, if you've got any teenage boys or teenage grandsons or anything, go and dry some of this out and put it in their sock drawer to stop their socks when their teenage boy socks stick. Guaranteed. And I've got proof of it right here. Shh. What do you think we have children for if we can't talk anything? Good on you, son. But yeah, the versatility of this plant is absolutely phenomenal. And the other beautiful thing is they don't actually require half the water, like i.e. the bonsais, that's minimal water. They'll actually survive on relatively less water than their exotics will in the yard. And if the weather people are right, we're going into another drought. So we're going to need to conserve as much water as we can. And these are some of the examples that you can grow and actually utilise for yourself to any and all of the above. But does anybody have any questions? And please don't be gun shy of the microphone. And Damon, don't go near that woman over there, you know, she's trouble.
How tall do the myrtles grow?
Well, they're another rainforest plant, so if you leave it in a rainforest, it can go up to 25 metres, but in your backyard, 10, 15 metres, 15 if you look after it really well though. It depends as well on the soil conditions and just general plant.
And it just depends on how bad you make it. For a backyard, you probably want to grow it out of the ground, so about your height, and then just walk around with your set tears and shears and just cut off the top rope and just vaporise it, so to speak. Any other questions?
Where can we buy them from?
I recommend you go to a really qualified nursery for the simple reason that, like the bonsai man said to you before, that big warehouse, for this plant here, they want to charge you approximately $60 to $70 for a 200ml pot. You can get them for less than half the price. Right, so that place, I'm not going to mention them, but I will say are a rip-off. Convenient for everything, but you're going to gouge it.
Nice and close.
Two questions. Firstly, the bunya. Can you grow bunyas in the Sydney Basin?
Yeah, but I would recommend growing a bunya nut. One, very slow growing, and two, very dangerous.
Like the macadamias?
Well, the fruit out of a bunya nut can weigh anything up to about 10 pounds. Now, the sulphur-crescent cockatoos love to get hold of them when they're nice and big, and then chew them off from nice and high. If you happen to be close by and it strikes you, you're not going to get up. And besides, the foliage on them is absolutely, you don't want children anywhere near them. And the other one, you don't want to go and propagate it anywhere near your garden. If you've got children, finger lime. Do not grow finger lime in your yards if you have children. They have thorns on them, anything up to about 2 inches long, and they are quite dangerous. Everybody loves them all, they taste great, very susceptible to citrus bugs, and citrus bugs absolutely love them, and again, very dangerous to have around kids. A lot of schools go, well, if you want finger limes, I just have to look at teachers and go, no.
So my second question is, with the myrtle species, is there one that has peppermint or spearmint smell? You've got the aniseed, which is lovely, and the cinnamon, but I'm wondering if you have any peppermint or spearmint type of myrtle.
No, you go and find native mints. There are native mints and whatnot around, but not in the back houses.
Any other questions, guys? Any other question? Alright, anyone else? Come on, don't bite, guys, you know, let me see.
Well, I'd like to thank you for your attention here this afternoon, so I hope you enjoy the rest of your show. But yeah, like I was saying, down the bottom, the very last aisle down here in the halls, turn to the right, there's a place called Lemon Myrtle Fragrances. They have body lotions, soap, shampoos, conditioners, insect repellent, and then there's also a place up in the food hall that actually sells a lemon myrtle liqueur, plus a Davidson plum liqueur and a...
it was Davidson plum and slow together.
So you go up and have a check of these, have a taste of some of the flavours, have a smell, and then you'll be able to actually take some of these knowledge home and be able to utilise it for yourself, I hope. And everybody have a good afternoon.
And come up and talk to us if you want
There we go. Thank you very much.